Okay, so this is for anyone who missed class, okay? We're going to go ahead and talk about the Lego tutorials that you missed since you can't redo them. So when we use the Lego tutorials or Lego kits, we go ahead and load the Spike app from the CREA-TECH website. One of the first things we do when we connect to the Lego robot is we check the battery life. If it is below 50%, we need to charge it. The first tutorial that you worked on was the light matrix. This is the light system that is on the front screen of the hub. There are 25 pixels or lights that display on the hub screen. When you connect the hub, you go ahead and hit the green button, you turn on the Bluetooth, and you pair it to your robot. The hub is coded in this first light matrix tutorial that when the program starts, you should see a smiley face appear on your screen. And you can, of course, change this. This is called an event block, your ones that are yellow. This means it triggers code or action to begin. So when you push play, that triggers the smiley face to appear or whatever drawing you create. And again, 25 lights on your hub, and you can see how the smile lit up. Here's an event when the program starts with play. I want to turn on all 25 lights, and you can see how that reacted in the picture to the left. Here is the small or medium motor. It is the smaller of the two motors in the kit. You can tell usually if it's the small motor by counting how many pegs are on the white and how many peg holes are on the blue. When using the motor, you must first define it. So we've told the robot we're using motor A, the plug A, port A, and you must set the speed. And we've set the speed to 20. So anytime I use these blue motor blocks, I must also tell the robot what port I'm using and what speed I'm setting it to. So right now we're using port A, and it is set to speed 20. You can see that this is a singular motor, one motor, because it only has one motor pictured, okay? And it is turning for one rotation clockwise. When I look at the color sensor, which is the next one on my list of ones to do, I can see what it looks like. The light comes on when you turn it on. And what this code is coding is the color sensor to see the color blue. What happens when I see blue? What happens with the light matrix when I see green? And what happens when I see red? Okay. And you can see that you put the color in front of the light sensor. And then that's when the next part of the code is triggered. So the event blocks in this case are when the color sensor sees a color. That's how the code is triggered. Remember, event blocks are this orangish yellow color. The distance sensor, this detects how far something is from the sensor and triggers code to begin at certain distances. So in this case, we want to know what port are we using. And the code that we're using says that when it is closer, when the distance sensor is closer than 2 centimeters from the object, it will play this sound 81 for 8 seconds. Okay. And then the force sensor is a button-like sensor that is going to control at a button click. You're the force of your finger pressing down. And when you look at this code, it's showing that when it is pressed, the motor will start spinning, and when it was released, the motor was stop spinning. But what can you see in this code that is wrong? Look at what ports and see what might be the problem. Finally, the gyro sensor. The gyro sensor is actually inside of the hub, so it is not a separate sensor. It is inside of the hub, and it works when you tilt the robot or the hub itself. And in this one, you were to code it to meow at a tilt. In this code that I've shown on the screen, what direction is the gyro sensor tilted when it makes the meow sound? And we'll talk about some more things in class, but this is to catch you up on the tutorials that we did.